RG with RGFam Games here with another video for you. Today, I thought we'd do a video on the top 10 games, or let's say the 10 most expensive games on my must-have collection list. So these are games that I have to have in my collection at some point in time. Like, my collection will not be complete unless I have these games. Like, these are games that mean something to me, or most of them mean something to me. There's one or two that maybe don't mean something to me, but I really need them. I'll explain why I want to get to them. But I just thought about, man, there's so many games I want, and I was just thinking about one game in particular, which is the number one game on my list. It's like, God, I want that game so bad. Like, I need that game in my life again. And the price is astronomical. And then I just thought, what are the prices, what are the most expensive games that I need to get in my collection? And really, this video actually kind of makes money. But then it just got me curious. I'm just curious as to what everyone else is like. What are the most expensive games out there that you want in your collection? Just like, someday, someday I'll win that lottery and I'll be able to get all those games or whatnot. So I thought it'd make a cool topic for a video. So here we go. I actually went with the whole black background just so I can focus on the games that are going to come up here on the screen, so we can talk about them. So I couldn't settle at 10. Actually, I'm going with 12. So we'll say the last two are honorable mentions that didn't make the top 10. So number 12 is Outrun for the Genesis. A complete in-box copy as of today is going for $80. That's a tough pill to swallow for Outrun. I mean, I love Outrun. Outrun was one of my favorite arcade games of all time. Sorry, interrupt. So Outrun, one of my favorite games in the arcades. I really, really loved playing it on the Genesis. I'd love to have a copy of it again someday, complete in box. Right now, that's going bucks. So, yikes. All right, number 11. The other finalist. What's the word? Five of them also ran. Didn't make the top 10, but was real close. Is Phantasy Star 2. Phantasy Star 2 is an amazing game. This is a game I've owned at one time. So good, so classic. I love it so much. I have to own it again. I need a complete copy of it. Complete copies of it are going for $90, at least $90. I know there's a store by me who's got a boxed one without the manual, and it's like a 10. My eye on it, they know. So yeah, love this game, love this series. A couple more might pop up on this list, and yeah, so $90 for a complete copy or higher. So number 10. Now let's get to the top 10. Number 10. Now a lot of these are going to be, I'm going to show you the graphics for Genesis, and that's because the Genesis ones, for some of these art games, some of them are on both Genesis and Super Nintendo. But obviously with Genesis you can get it complete in box, which you can't really do necessarily as easily on the yes. So excuse me. So a lot of times I'm just including the Genesis versions. So number 10, Uncharted Waters. Uncharted Waters is a pirate role-playing game on the Genesis. There is a version on the NES. And I don't remember if this one is available on Super Nintendo or not. It probably is. Actually, this is the box for the version. The Genesis box looks exactly the same. So, love Uncharted Waters. It's just, it was cool because it was just different. I mean, still really aren't many pirate role-playing games out there. So I highly recommend, if you like role-playing games, especially in the 8-bit, 16-bit era, check out Uncharted Waters. A complete in-box copy for Uncharted Waters on the Genesis is going for about $96 according to price charting. I have eBay like searches set for this game just in case I ever see a good deal. Of course, I never do any. But Uncharted Waters, such a good. Number 9 on our list. This guy's of Arcadia for the Dreamcast. Now this is one of those games. Truth be told, I've never actually played before. I have wanted to play this game my entire life. Even back when it came out and I was Dreamcasting, but I was so wrapped up in other games, I never had time to get to Skies of Arcadia. My big thing was to get through Grandia 2, and then get to Skies, and I just never got to it. And then place Star Online was on. There's just so many other things that I was playing. EverQuest, so many other things I was playing at the time. I just never got to Skies of Arcadia. And I really, really want to get to Skies of Arcadia. And now if I want it in my collection, which I really do, like I feel like I need to own this game on the Dreamcast, it's going for $112 plus, according to PriceCharting.com. Yeah. And I know that there's a GameCube version. I think that one might even cost more. I don't know, but I really feel like I need to play it on the Dreamcast. So yeah, Skies of Arcadia someday. That's 10, 9. Number 8 on our list is a Genesis game, also on Super Nintendo. It is Aerobiz Supersonic. Aerobiz Supersonic is another video game by Koei. Koei, whatever you pronounce it. They also did Uncharted Waters. I've talked about Aerobiz a little bit on the channel before. This is the sequel to it. Aerobiz Supersonic is just a business simulator. It's a simulator of you taking over an airline and trying to become the dominant airline in the world. I don't know why I love these games so much. I've never owned Supersonic. I do own regular Aerobiz on the Genesis. It is in my collection, and I have it in a box. I still need the instructions. But I have played Supersonic on emulator. It's just such a great business simulator game. I just love it. I don't know why. It's a game. You just put on some music and just chill and play with menus and stuff. So not exciting, not a lot of action or anything like that. But you know, I like business simulators. Whatever the next number is. 10, 9, 8, 7 is number 7. Number 7. Now it says New Horizons. What it doesn't tell you is that it's Uncharted Waters New Horizons. On the Genesis, also on the Super Nintendo, this is the sequel to Uncharted Waters. Again, another pirate role-playing game. I love pirate role-playing games. Need to be more pirate role-playing. So love this game. I have never owned this game either. By the way, did I ever say? Sorry, cut. Aerobiz Supersonic is going for $126. Complete box in the Genesis. $126. Okay, back to the other game. Uncharted Waters New Horizons. Again, Genesis, Super Nintendo, but complete in box in the Genesis is going for also $126 plus. Yeah, it's so good. It's pirates role-playing game, and it's 16-bit role-playing game. Oh, it's so good. So good. All right, next up on the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 6. Number 6 is Ys 3. I think it's just Wanderers of Ys. So now I'm really into collecting all the Ys games. I remember playing them when I was young, but I just kind of forgot about them for a long time. Until the last year or so. And I forgot. I was like, oh my god, I love these games. And then obviously I got Ys for the Master System not too long ago. And I got the collection on collections and stuff. But I'd love to have Ys 3 for the Genesis. Complete in box is going to cost me $155 plus. Yeah. Next is number five. Number five on our list is the original Fantasy Star. I'll do this a couple of times. Original Fantasy Star on the Master System. It's just classic, so classic. To me, Fantasy Star means more to me than Dragon Warrior or Final Fantasy as far as 8-bit RPG. And then Miracle Warriors. The Warriors also on the Master System. I just have always loved Fantasy Star, and Fantasy Star complete in box on the Master System is going for $172 according to Price Chart. 100. And then next, this is number four. Number four. This is kind of silly because it's a GameCube version of a game I already own on two systems, but I really want this GameCube version, and that is Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 Plus. So this is one of the greatest games ever. Right now I can't play my Xbox One because I don't have an original Xbox login. You can play it offline, but you still have to have an Xbox Live account on a memory card or on your system. I don't have an account on the system, so thus it won't get into. Let me load up a live account. It doesn't have to be active, but you have to have one in the system. Anyway, I really, really want this for the GameCube. I feel like I just need to have every version of this. It's one of the games I have some of the most memories with. It's the first console game online. And play this game with friends. Even playing the solo, still a whole lot of mindless kind of fun. Hack and slash your way. Just cool with all the different weapons and all the different gear. It's just such a fun game. If you've never played Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 or 1 or whatever, I highly advise you find a way to play it. There is a way that you can play it on computers too. There's an active actually server community. It's called PSO Blue or Blue something. I played on that for a little bit. That was cool. So there are ways for you to play without buying the game, which right now on the GameCube is going for $200 completed box in the game. $200 one game. All right, number three is a Genesis game. In this game is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist. I have not owned this game, but I want to, and I don't even know that I've ever played it. But I need it. I need it because I love the Turtles. I love Turtles in Time. I love TMT, you know, the arcade game. I love the original Ultra one. This is a variant. If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of Turtles in Time with some different levels. There's to it, but I need to have it in my collection. Need it, and it's gonna cost $205. Over $205 completing box on the Genesis. Crazy. 250. Turtle. Next up, number two on the list. Number two. Genesis. And it's another Phantasy Star game. Phantasy Star 4 for the Genesis. Phantasy Star 3 would be on this list too, but it's just not. It's actually not as expensive. I need to get them all on my period. Story. Phantasy Star 4, the explosive finale, as it says here on the box. I don't know that I haven't actually ever played Final Fantasy 4, never got to it. Or Phantasy Star 4, sorry. I am very, very much in playing things in an order. And even if it doesn't make sense, or even if you don't need to, whether it's watching movies or shows or games. In my mind, I have to play or watch things and consume them in order. Have to. Just my brain. So someday I gotta get Phantasy Star 4 in my collection, and it's right now going for $243 complete in box. $243. Yikes. That's not the most expensive game on my list. Most expensive game on my list, and the most important game on this list. Like, this game is a game I have owned, and it is a game that I love. It is so near and dear to my heart, and I bet most of you have never played it. And it's going to shock a lot of people, probably. But the number one game, most expensive game on my must-have, I need to have this in my collection list, is Illbleed for the Dreamcast. Is Illbleed, you ask? Well, Illbleed, let me tell you, is a survival horror game. And it's, by all means, I know it's not, a lot of people have issues with various issues. People have issues with the controls. People have issues with the nuttiness. It is a unique survival horror game. It's not like the rest. It is, it was designed around like B movie themes. It's meant to be taken as a B movie. It does not take itself seriously. Some of the gruesomeness, which there is just blood. There is so much blood in this game, but it's so played to be over the top that it's funny, and it's still, but it's such a, every level is like a different B horror movie. There's I can't remember how many levels there are. Each one has its own theme and like its own movie, and they're hilarious but yet scary, and there are a lot of jump scares, and it's excessive, it's gratuitous. It's so good. It's so good. If you like B movies, horror movies, or if you just want a fun game that doesn't take itself seriously with a lot of blood and jump scares, right? I really don't know what else to say about it. It's just so good. It's so different. It's not just you get a gun and you're just going to go around and shoot people. That's not what this game is. This game, basically, you're going into a haunted theme park with your friends. Friends go missing, you got to find your friends. And in this theme park, there are traps everywhere. And you have a heart monitor, and there are different ways, you can die. You can die from being scared to death. You can die from blood loss. You can die from a heart attack. So there are traps, and you got to sense out these traps in order to not get scared or not bleed, and it's so inventive. It's so different than any other survival horror game out there, and it's just amazing. And when the game came out, it got mediocre reviews, and I immediately loved it. And I would tell everybody I knew to play this game. You have to play this game. You have to play this game. And then I told everybody. So, and of course, when I sold my Dreamcast way back in the day to, probably get an Xbox or whatever, obviously I sold it, and very sad. But then, years later, I remember going to a game show, actually, the Midwest Gaming Classic. This is maybe in 10 years, maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago. I went to the Midwest Gaming Classic. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get Illbleed. Like, I really want to get Illbleed. I need it, And I went around to all the tables, and I started asking, hey, you have Illbleed? I'm like, oh, you know what? No, I just sold the last copy. But that's a common game. It's a common game. You'll just keep looking. You'll find it. You'll find it. And I kept looking, and I didn't find it. And every time I did find it or talk to somebody, like, oh yeah, I just sold it. Oh no, I saw it, but it's gone. Multiple people, the places this happened. And then I think went the next year, kind of same thing happened. Every time I talked to a vendor, vendors were like, oh, that's a common game. I don't know, it's around here somewhere. This is all pre-price charting and all that kind of stuff. But they kept encouraging me, like, "Oh yeah, you'll find it, no problem." Well, I never found it. I never got it. And now, a complete copy of Illbleed is going for $300 plus. 300, $305 for Illbleed. It's an amazing game. So obviously the rest of the world caught on or something because it's so fantastic that now it's super expensive. And I have to have it in my collection. That's as much as like systems. Systems cost $300. I, I don't know if I'll ever be able to get this game. I better hit the lottery or something. I don't know. I don't know how I'll ever justify spending $300 on one game, but it is the most wanted game that I need to have. I can't say enough about it. I just don't know. Some way, somehow, I have to find a way to get a copy of this game and hopefully not pay $300. Maybe I'll have to do like a trade, like a big trade or something to get a. I guess that's probably what I'll have to do eventually to maybe get some of these big games. Maybe I'll just have to put some big trades together to make affordable. Maybe that'll have to be. I haven't, as you guys know, I'm still collection, so I haven't done a lot of trading yet. I don't have really a lot of stuff to trade, I don't think. So anyway, there you have it. There's my top 10 must-have games that are not in my collection, but are the most expensive games I need to have in my. I know I worded that. You guys all know. So anyway, what are your games? What are the most expensive games that you have to have? It's not I'm not talking about a game where it's like, it'd be really cool to have Little Samson. Or, oh, it'd be really cool to have, Persona 2, or what are some of the other, any of the PS2, so many PS1 RPG are so expensive. And maybe you want them, but I mean, what are the games that you, not just because, yeah, it'd be cool to have, I mean, but what are the games that mean something to you that you really want to have in your collection, but they're crazy expensive these days? Let's talk about it. I want to hear all of your games in the comments. Let me know what you think of my games. If you haven't played any of them, I suggest you play all those games. Every game I list, at least as far as I'm concerned. And thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. See you in the next video.